Good morning. I'm gonna do a garden tour. Try to get through things quickly, but there's a lot to show you guys today. And let's see, we've got Addie out here helping me. I'm gonna leave her in the yard though. So if you didn't watch the videos yesterday, I'm gonna have to help a bird. Hold on. All right, so that was a quick delay. That robin was just hitting every wall there was in the little hoop house. So the good news is that we planted a bunch of trays. I'll get back to that update from yesterday really quickly since I'm already in here. I do have some marigolds left, some snapdragons, just one tray left. These ones are not looking so healthy, so we'll see. I needed to plant a lot more lettuce, but it's way too hot today to do that. It's gonna be 90 degrees or close to. So I'll wait for another cool evening and cool next day, ideally. We do have some of the orange Thai chilies and the regular Thais doing really well here. I still have plants here to take care of. I'm not sure what might happen there. I did pick a bell from the back there. We've got peach scotch bonnets, primatalis, and a habanero there. And then I ended up ordering more hot peppers because Jim Duffy Refining Chilies, he had a little quick sale of the end of the season stuff. So, and it looks like something ate this one. But we have some more primatalis, scorpions, dragon's breath, a hurt berry, which I've never heard of, and yellow fever. So they're all sprinkled into this bed. We'll see how they do. The tomatoes in here, we've been picking a bunch. And they're on this one, I need to lower and lean even more. So I'll be doing that. It may actually get ahead. We still haven't gotten this last cable. We did get the parts, but we haven't hung up the last cable yet. And I do need to do some pruning there. So that's on the list, maybe this morning. So that's a quick update in here. What I had started to say is if you didn't watch the videos yesterday, we did a lot this week. So Jace cleaned up all of the weeds on the driveway, and we're back behind the garage really, back here, and made a little berm again. And I went in and planted a whole tray of snapdragons, a bunch of the zinnias that I had left, I think about like a half tray of zinnias, and a bunch of marigolds. So we'll go over there and check that out in a minute. I also did the lower and lean on the 50 tomato plants on this super long bed. So you can see they look like they're much smaller, shorter plants, but if you start to look in, you can see the vines are getting carried over, and there's tons of tomatoes. So that's pretty exciting. I still need to lower and lean these 4 in this bed, and so I think I'm gonna just do it in a circle here. These are Mountain Magics and the Clementines. We've got a bunch of the San Marzanos. They're doing pretty well. I actually have over a quart worth of them ripe, ready to go. And I'm probably close to 15 pounds at this point after picking last night of tomatoes. And I should have more today. Let's see. It just looks gorgeous. Look at all the tomatoes. These are all big beef, so the ones that aren't ripe yet. Big beef take a little bit longer to get going than the Cherokee Carbons. The Cherokee Carbons are the ones that I've already picked most of the weight in, and then there's the Rutgers on the other side too that's taking a little bit longer to get ripe. We don't have any of those ready yet. But the Cherokee Carbons are coming quick and big. I think our biggest one, I can post it, but I think our biggest one was 1.5 pounds, roughly. And if you can hear that bird, that's a flicker. It's what we're named after, a northern flicker. It's in the woodpecker family. Okay, so over here, these snapdragons are doing amazing in the whiskey barrel, and I've got basil. The Japanese beetles are starting to eat them, so I'll be watching that. I need to weed this, but these snapdragons are doing all right. The flowers are huge for this little tiny plant, so that's kind of funny. Poblanos are amazing. Let's see how big these are. And this one back here is actually even bigger. And fennel, I think this is the size I need to pick it. So we will try picking that, and then I'll be planting some more seeds here on this west side. Sweet potatoes are doing really well. Both types here and here. They're starting to try to offshoot out, so I keep on wrapping their vines back in onto themselves. So I do know, everyone tells me these are gonna go crazy and probably take up this entire center of the garden. So I will be watching that. Onions are doing really well. We have some of the biggest onions I've ever grown this year, which I'm really excited about. Let's see here. They're very healthy. So happy with that. Had another bunny problem over here. Oh, here's the big one. So I'm trying to keep the bunnies out of the gardens. And I deter them pretty quickly because I'm out here every day so I can see what they're doing. We have serranos ready here. No, the green. And jalapenos, we have a bunch on here. Pepperoncinis, we have a ton green that I could pick and pickle, but I haven't done that yet. Celery and parsley, and the carrots we're continuing to eat. Those are just the early summer carrots. Got snapdragons, and then this is a sweet pepper bed. For the most part, there's a couple cayennes on the end. And radishes. These are all get afternoon sun over here. I did plant a marigold there as well. Lots of cayennes. These are escamillos, some extra ace, California Wonder, red picnic, orange picnics. It's a combination there. So on the end here, I did put a couple extra sweet potato slips, and I need to weed this bed badly and put the straw on still. I do have some of the other potatoes coming up. There's the sweet potatoes over here on this side. And then here's some more regular potatoes coming up. Need to weed some of that, and I do need to cover all of these. The brassica bed over here with the beets and some radishes is doing better. I did spray BT a couple times because we were having horrible cabbage worms. Those little green ones that blend right in, you can never see them. So I will be watching that more closely. And the black beetles are eating the radish leaves, which I think is okay, but may need to do some DE on the radishes and the beet greens. The Cayenne Bed is loaded. I need to figure out if I want to stake all of these or not. Some of them are starting to lean pretty good with all of the weight they have. Same thing for the sweet bells. This is why I wait for to let the plant go to fruit, because that's like a real full-size grocery store pepper. You can see I added a couple stakes in here already. You can see these. There's a California Wonder here. Look how gorgeous that is. The first time growing California Wonders, I do probably need to stake this one up. Give it some extra support. But these are absolutely gorgeous peppers. A little boxier than the Ace, so I'm excited about those. Over here we have the Status, some celery, and we have our first beans. And I planted all sorts of fun types, and I keep on trying to retrain the beans. A very noisy blue jay up above me. I also have, I think I might have to come in from the other side for you guys to see them. Yeah, I'll show you on the other side. I have some baby cucumbers already, which is great. And some weeds that I missed. Come in and carry the bucket around here. Here's some of the cucumbers. I'm gonna keep training it up the wall here with the beans. Yeah, it looks like it's time to weed over here. It's hard to walk through it when you see it and not deal with it right away. The stock, I still have some great ones going, so I'm loving these. I did bouquets yesterday for the market, so that was fun. Some more Status. Gorgeous little bean flowers. That's going well. Oh, the watermelon. So this guy, I kept trying to train it up, and it doesn't seem to want to climb up. So it keeps on falling down and trying to climb out of here. It's all the way over here as well. So we'll see. This may end up in the aisle. So I know Jay won't be as excited about that, but we'll see what I can do about it. Looks like I have some caterpillars to deal with in there as well. This is the broccoli that was in the hoop house that got eaten all the way down. If you remember, it was like a little stub, and it's come back really well. And then this one was really happy where it was, I guess, but it got eaten pretty bad by the worms. So again, sprayed this with BT. So I will do a video about all the different things that I use in the garden as additives and pest control. I do try to do everything that's OMRI rated, so it's good for organic gardening. So down from the fertilizers to the BT, things like that. So I will try to get a video out soon for that. This tunnel's doing really well. We should be eating beans very soon. Here's a watermelon leaf again. So this one actually finally got going up, so we'll see if I can keep it going. I will most likely have to help support some of those as they make their way around. Here's more watermelon. I really want to be able to walk in here, so as much as possible, I don't want the watermelon getting trained to go into the aisle here, because I'll have limited space and ability to actually pick all of this stuff if that happens. So I just always am up here retraining. It also lets me see what's going on and see how the fruit's looking. So over here, here's some more watermelon. Just keep moving that backwards, back up there. Let's see. The beans look so nice and healthy. I'm loving it. Look at all the bees this morning. Being a little territorial, so I gotta watch myself over here. I'm gonna try to show you guys. In here, we have our first pickling cucumbers. There's one there. There's one actually in the back there. Kind of hard to show. Back here as well. Which is good. We were a little late getting those started. On this other wall, the tomatoes are doing pretty well. I've been picking cherries every other day from this space. You're gonna notice a big difference over here, as it now has full mulch, which is fantastic. And I did go in and plant some cucamelons and some basil in this back space here. And I also picked some of the ageratum, so you're not gonna see as many flowers right now. And I hung up the dill. We have to move the pallets that Jace had put over here out of the way. But the pollinator garden's coming along over here. I do take cuttings for some of the flowers, cut flowers, and the bouquets I make, but pretty happy with it. I did sneak some zinnias in here as well, and I'll continue to try to help get some good flowers that will reseed themselves. Over here, got all the snapdragons, zinnias, marigolds, all the way over. What you couldn't see before was how big of a bank this really is down to our property. So the previous owners had built this all up, and I'm thinking about putting some some dill and some sunflowers maybe up here on the top. But look, this is not our dog. This, I'm guessing, is cat. They probably enjoyed the perch here. I don't think, oh, maybe it's coyote. I don't know, what are your thoughts? I'm thinking that those look like the front two paws there. We do have a coyote pup that's been around. He had an injured leg, so I've been watching out for him. But he seemed to be moving okay. Worm. So even though this is really gravelly, sandy stuff, this is also over near where our compost pile had been. So it actually has some more in it than it looks. But if this doesn't make it, it doesn't make it. But I do want something that's gonna hold the bank, and if it can help attract more pollinators and be really pretty back here, I'm all for it. Over here, I did actually harvest all of the grow bags for the potatoes. And I haven't weighed them yet, but I'll put a picture of what they look like. Over here on our leach field garden, this is all non-food. These are all flowers. So I killed a bunch more of the snapdragons. As you can see, they're all dried right out. So I'm trying to be better about watering this area. And I've picked a ton of the stalk out of here for the cut flowers. So I'm starting to transition this end over here to new flowers as well. And I planted some marigolds and some cosmos up on this first bed. In the back bed, the zinnias have been doing really, really well, which I'm excited about, and the snapdragons over there seem to have done better. And I'm not sure if it's just the vicinity to the sprinkler that we have on the T-post. Yeah, I just took a shower, I don't need another one. But the other thing that I got in there was Amaranth, which I was excited about. I'm still having pest problems coming in and eating any of the seedlings that I plant right now, so trying to maneuver around those. If I can get up here without getting totally soaked. The status though is absolutely gorgeous. I'm really happy with how that's looking. Over here in our field garden where I harvested the garlic, I did go through and weed yesterday morning. I have a couple tomatillos started in that center row. A couple of them died over there. The tomatillo is looking much better. I did spray that with BT as well, and that seems to be night and day difference on the potato bugs that were destroying it. Onions are doing really well. And I have a tray of basil over here positioned because I was going to plant it. I'm going to probably move this because it's going to be 90 today. I'll probably put it back into the hoop house and under the shade cloth. The really exciting stuff is the squash, for me anyways. We're growing giant pumpkins, or we're trying. They're Atlantic F1s from Johnny Seeds, and they can get over 1,000 pounds. Typically, if you just let them grow, they'd be about 75 pounds, I guess, to 200, somewhere in that range. So we are gonna come back and start clipping off the fruit that we don't want to grow. So, because it's gonna keep on throwing fruit over and over and over again. So you're gonna see all these little guys here that we will start taking off. And I say little guys, they triple in size like every day, I feel like. So as we go through here, come back over. This guy, give you a picture, is growing really, really well. So we need to get him up onto a piece of plywood. A lot of people will then shade them. Right now, the kind of solar panels, the leaves are doing really well, kind of protecting it, so I don't need to worry about that much. But we have another one on another plant over here that we'll do the same thing for. I also have summer squash right here, which is doing well, and mixed in here somewhere, I don't remember where it is. Aha! I have baby Pam pie pumpkins, and so that's our favorite to use for breads and pies. Actually, I think my mom won't use another type. It had to be baby Pam. So excited about that. It's harder to find that type sometimes locally. So the corn, we still have something made like a path. I don't know if you can see this right through. So we're still having pest issues down here. We don't have it fenced, and we have lots of visitors typically. But it's doing better since we did get it weeded. The irrigation is working so well on this for the drip line that we buried. So I'm so happy we did that. And the black tarp is also helping immensely. And the first row is the first one we planted. The horseflies are horrid, sorry. And then we have some more summer squash at the end here when I ran out of seeds. This is, next 2 rows are sugar buns. And they're about my waist height on the end. On the south end, because of some of the shade over there, they are shorter, but that's expected and that's fine. It actually helps delay some of the what's ripe all at once. And then these first parts of the row, I'm letting the big pumpkin kind of take over a little bit. I did try to plant some sunflowers here. We'll see how they do. I'm guessing they're gonna get eaten very quickly because our Silver Queen corn is still getting eaten, which is really frustrating. And Silver Queen is our favorite, but it's a 90-something day and we don't have enough days left in our season to grow more. And that last row needs to be weeded again, as you can tell. The onions over here are the ones from Johnny Select Seeds. They're the onion starts that I bought. Instead of buying the onion bulbs in the beginning of the season, if you buy the onion starts, which are little mini onion plants, they tend to grow much better and they will store better from what I understand and have read. So these ones were my backup onions if for some reason my onions I started from seed over in the main garden didn't do well, because last year, 1, I didn't have enough, and 2, my seed onions, a lot of them died, and then we didn't have, they didn't get very big. So So these are kind of my backup storage onions if I needed them. Drip line's working really well on that. And like I said, the tomatillo is looking much better. Up here in what we've been calling the asparagus bed, I'm having some chipmunk problems over here. They're digging a lot, so trying to watch that a little bit. But I believe these are summer squash here. Acorns are falling or something, branches. I have a butternut squash that's doing okay, another cuke that looks a little bit rough in the back there. And then I have another watermelon. This one I bought, I think. This is one I bought. That's doing pretty well here. Small, a little, but I do need to fertilize this bed some, and I've been adjusting the sprinkler to try to reach this area better. On this cucumber, though, we have quite a bit of little guys, and that one big one. I need to train this back away from the asparagus. So if you keep turning the cucumbers around in circles, it works pretty well, but you got to do it before they try to root. And it looks like I need to weed some of the stuff in the back, and we need to take down this stump growth here. In the flower bed, still need to mulch it. Oh look, I finally have a poppy. I planted these forever ago, but look how cute that is. Hadn't seen that yet. That's exciting. Even if it's just one, I'm excited. So it's starting to do okay. This is gonna be like a 5-year project probably to get it to where I actually want it to be. But I did put some more snapdragons in here. I've got clumps of bee balm that I have, and the foxglove is about over, but it is looking still pretty. I keep looking over here thinking, wow, that looks really empty over there now. I don't know if I mentioned, but we are probably gonna mulch that when we have a little bit enough to do some of it, but probably not enough. And that will be staging area for some lumber we're getting for our sawmill. So excited to have a better staging area for that. That's the garden update for mid-July here in North Central Mass. We're about 150 something day season usually between frosts, and I have under 90 days probably left, depending on what the season brings. So as I'm looking at what I'm planting in places, I am making sure that I think through and look at days to maturity and all of those things on the seed packets. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys are all doing well in your own gardens. Happy gardening.